Welcome on board and thank you for joining me today. Mochiman here with the second part of my 3-part series looking at who I believe will be the final 3 members of the Straw Hat crew, where today I will discuss why I believe Carrot will be the 11th member of the crew. Carrot as a Straw Hat candidate has dropped since the introduction of Yamato, and there has been many discussions on whether Yamato or Carrot would be the last member, as there was supposed to be only 10, so only 1 slot remaining. But I'm the type of person who likes to have their cake and eat it too, and I believe there is space for both of them on Pirate King's crew. On my previous video on Yamato, the 10th member, I went through all the criteria I will look at to base my picks off, so I would recommend giving that video a watch before watching this one. So, without further ado, let's get started. Carrot's start in the series was very unique, as the first thing she does upon seeing the Straw Hats is attack Zoro, as she wasn't sure whether they were invaders or not. In this clash, Carrot showed great speed, impressive agility being able to dodge Zoro's slash mid-air, and showed off an electrical punch which gave Zoro a minor shock. Our first text box for Carrot came alongside of Wonder when they went to stop Luffy from fighting the Forest Guardians. Carrot is a rabbit mink which gives her a natural ability to jump incredibly high. Carrot is also a member of the Musketeers, the mink fighting force which protects the island from invaders during the day. But even though she is a member of the Musketeers, her design is very different to the others, sporting an orange dress and a green cape, and for her weapon she uses claws, whilst the rest of the Musketeers all wear blue, have hats and use swords. During the Zoe section of the story, Carrot didn't have that much going for her and kind of felt like a little bit of a side character, like Wonder. She did have one moment which would foreshadow things to come, but at this point nothing too special. This would all change in the follow-up arc, Whole Cake Island. As the crew are about to set sail for Whole Cake Island to bring Sanji back, Carrot reintroduces herself into the story as she had stowed away on the Sunny and wanted to join them on the adventure. This time around, Carrot shows herself as a very friendly girl in the way that she greets all of the Straw Hats, but Pedro had his worries that Carrot might endanger the mission because of her attitudes. However, Carrot was willing to do whatever it takes to go with them, as she's always wanted to go out to sea on an adventure, and even brought her own supplies to try and not be a burden to everyone, even though her supplies would only last half a day. Upon finding out how big the sea actually was, she saw the sea as a wonderland and was even more excited to adventure. Carrot's enthusiasm to go on an adventure and how she just jumped straight in without being prepared reminded me so much of Luffy and how he set off to be Pirate King on a little rowboat. I think from an early point in her introduction on the way to Whole Cake Island, Carrot naturally felt like a member of the crew. She was just as happy as Chopper when Luffy recovered from the poisonous fish, and she also has the same adventurous energy as Luffy when exploring a new area. But she is also a girl, so as well as having fun with Luffy and Chopper, she also enjoys being girly with Nami. Carrot's popularity has grown a lot since her introduction and managed to land 8th on the latest One Piece Global Popularity Poll, beating both Ace and Sabo, which is an incredible feat. So while Yamato may be the new hotness at the moment, there is still a big Carrot fanbase who would like her to join the crew. A big part of Carrot's popularity comes from her strength. As a mink, she has been able to fight from a very young age. Carrot is a close combat fighter who uses punches and kicks. She also utilizes the mink's signature technique, Electro, which allows her to add electricity to her attacks to do extra damage to her opponent. If Carrot uses Electro as a conductor on like metal or water, she can shock her opponents without needing to touch them. Carrot's best technique available to her is her Sulong transformation. The Sulong transformation allows minks to awaken all of their animal instincts and turn into a fighting machine while they are able to see the full moon. But the technique can cause users to go crazy if they can't control their mind during the transformation. But with training, the form can be controlled. The Sulong transformation massively boosts Carrot's speed, making it look as though she can fly. It also increases her agility when it comes to dodging attacks in midair, and the speed boost massively improves all of her combat techniques, easily allowing her to take out large amounts of enemies in a short time. The first time Carrot uses Sulong, she was able to destroy a blockade of ships blocking the Sunny from escaping Big Mom, and she was able to avoid and use Daifuku to destroy his own ships, which is impressive as Daifuku is one of the older members of the Big Mom family. The Sulong transformation does come with a time limit that Carrot cannot exceed, but she is able to revert back to her original state by covering her eyes from the moon. Now, for the million-dollar question, if Carrot was to join the Straw Hats, what group would she fall into? The group I believe Carrot would be in if she joined the Straw Hats would be the Coward Trio or the Weakling Trio, and there are a couple of reasons why I believe this. Now, compared to some of the other members of this group, Carrot is more eager to get into fights and is not afraid of entering combat. She also finds excitement from dangerous situations, similar to Luffy. As she has never been outside of Zou, there are some things in the outside world that does scare her, like lightning, as she did not know what that was. And she also fears enemies much stronger than her, as seen as when she was afraid of Big Mom when they were about to save Brook. Cowards of the crew tend to be on the younger side as well, which makes a lot of their fear believable as they have less experience. Nami is 20, Usopp is 19, Chopper is 17, and if Carrot joins, she will be the youngest member of the crew at 15. The only exception to this rule is Luffy, who is also 19, but he is the captain. The lack of experience of the outside world is detrimental to Carrot, as many minks are unaware of Devil Fruit uses, as seen for when Pedro referred to Caesar's ability as magic. Carrot tends to enter battles by rushing in, utilising her speed to get her opponent off guard in an attempt to take them out quickly. This approach is good for dealing with straightforward fighters, but this rush-in approach will not work all the time with Devil Fruit users who can counter close-range combat fighters. In Carrot's fight against Brûlé, Carrot rushed in and had her punch reflected back at her, and the second time she rushed in, she was captured inside of Brûlé's mirror world. Carrot also tried to rush at Katakuri without thinking about the differences in their strengths, and was easily taken down. Carrot being a member of the Coward Trio would be beneficial to her, as the members of this group are more tactical fighters to make up for their weaknesses. They also fight together to take down enemies which they would not be able to defeat on their own. We have already seen this dynamic with Chopper and Carrot when they work together to defeat Brûlé and her subordinates by outsmarting them and taking them down quickly, not giving them a chance to react. Carrot and Nami have also worked together when it came to fighting Big Mom's homies in Onigashima. Nami and Chopper are great mentors for Carrot to improve the way she thinks and fights, as Carrot is a mix of the two. She is an animal that uses close range and can transform like Chopper, and she also uses electrical attacks like Nami. Speaking of transformations, another thing that holds Carrot back relates to her Sulong transformation. Now, the Sulong transformation certainly isn't weak, but it's difficult to get into the transformation, and the transformation could end very quickly depending on the circumstances. To transform into Sulong, the user needs to see a full moon, but only being able to transform at a certain time of day and a certain day of the month isn't very practical. If she was fighting a difficult opponent during the day, she would not be able to tap into this power. And the final problem with Sulong is how easy it is to lose a transformation. Carrot originally said that to revert, all she needs to do is cover her eyes from the moon. But if the moon is covered, that can also cause a mink to revert. This is very bad when it comes to a battle situation, as losing a transformation mid-fight against a strong opponent could lead to a swift defeat. We saw this happen when Carrot and Wanda lost their Sulong transformations while fighting Perospero due to the clouds covering the moon, which led to their defeat. Sulong has the opposite problems to how Chopper's Monster Point started. Monster Point was easy to get into, as it only required Chopper to eat 3 Rumble Balls in quick succession, but Chopper would lose his mind during the transformation and would attack friend or foe alike, Carrot can control herself during the transformation, but transforming into Sulong is more difficult. But I believe this problem can be remedied by Chopper. Chopper and Carrot already have a big brother little sister relationship since they worked together on Whole Cake Island, and I believe that Carrot would ask Chopper for help with her transformation to access it more frequently, and Chopper will be able to make Carrot a special rumble ball to allow her to access Sulong whenever she needs it. This dynamic is very similar to the dynamic that Usopp and Nami have, as Nami came to Usopp to make her a weapon so that she could fight to help Vivi. Usopp agrees, and thus he made Nami her climb attacks, which has been her main weapon throughout One Piece since its introduction, and Usopp has continuously upgraded it to make sure Nami doesn't fall behind. Usopp and Nami have a strong camaraderie because they are both regular humans in a world full of monsters. They both use clever tactics and have long-range weapons to overcome their opponents. Whereas Chopper and Carrot have a strong camaraderie as they are both talking animals and they are both the youngest members of the crew. And they are both close-range fighters who can transform. So while Carrot may be in the coward group of the crew, I think it would be good for Carrot to learn from the other members and be able to fight more tactically to take out her opponents. Carrot has a very good chemistry with the other members of the Straw Hat crew, to the point that she naturally looks like a part of the crew even though she currently isn't. Carrot naturally is on the same wavelength as some of the other Straw Hats and can be happy and bashful like the others, as well as being emotional with the others, like when they got emotional over Sanji coming back. And it was seen that she is just as excited for Sanji's cooking like all of the rest of the crew. Carrot sailed along with the Straw Hats on the way to Onigashima, and she was also with them to celebrate the return of Jinbei. And this may be an anime only scene, but she looks so natural along with the other members of the crew when they're in their Beast Pirate outfits. The first Straw Hat relationship I'll go into is with Luffy. Luffy and Carrot both have childlike wonder and want to see new areas and go on adventures. Carrot has been seen to be very affectionate to Luffy throughout their time together, which shows how much she likes him. And Luffy, during Whole Cake Island, trusted Carrot as much as his crew to handle things when he was away to take care of Katakuri. The next relationship I'd like to talk about is Carrot and Nami, which I can see like a big sis, little sis relationship. On the way to Whole Cake Island, her and Nami were able to bond over fashion. They both had shocked expressions when seeing Reiju suck the poison out of Luffy. I touched upon this in my combat ability section, but I can see them fighting together in the future as they have a similar dynamic to that of Usopp and Chopper, Nami being the strategist who fights at a range while Carrot rushes the enemy down. Nami was also there for Carrot during one of the most painful moments of her life. Carrot and Nami have a very natural, friendly relationship with each other, and I can only see it growing more after she has joined the crew. Usopp and Carrot are both artists, so I can see them bonding over their artworks. Carrot and Sanji shared a very nice moment at the end of Whole Cake Island, where she comforted Sanji about Pedro even though she was the most hurt by his passing. But unlike Nami and Robin, I think due to Carrot's age, Sanji is less attracted to Carrot, as seen by the fact that he was only seen perving on Nami during their Wano outfit reveals. So I can see Sanji treating Carrot like all the other women on the Sunny, and will make them nice treats whilst they are sailing on the sea as a gentleman, rather than perving on her like all the other women. Brook and Carrot worked together during the takedown of Big Mom's ships and brought her back to the Sunny when she was at her limit from her Sulong transformation. Jinbei really helped Carrot through a painful time of her life and reminded her that Pedro would want them to carry on. Jinbei also showed concern for Carrot when she was about to go Sulong, as he knew the side effects, but Carrot was able to reassure him that she had trained to control the transformation. And like with all the other Straw Hats, she was very happy seeing Jinbei return. The most important relationship Carrot will have on the crew is with Chopper, as they already have a big brother little sister relationship since the Whole Cake Island arc. They are the two youngest members of the crew who both care very much for the safety of their captain. Carrot and Chopper also really like sweet food, and they have already fought together to defeat Brûlée and her subordinates. So I can see Carrot and Chopper having a very similar relationship to Nami and Usopp. Nami and Usopp being the two human members of the crew, with Usopp making sure Nami didn't fall behind by making her the climate act, whilst Carrot and Chopper are the two animal members of the crew, and Big Brother Chopper will help his little sis to achieve her Sulong transformation more easily, like how he was able to sort out the problems with his own transformation. Carrot's crew position is most definitely going to be the lookout of the Straw Hat Pirates. She has displayed this very well from her introduction when she naturally jumped up very high to find Luffy. Carrot was naturally able to fall into the role of the lookout during the escape of Whole Cake Island, as she was able to quickly get to the top of the ship, and her good eyesight allows her to spot dangers quickly. The role of lookout is very important as she needs to be able to warn the others when new dangers show up. In this role, Carrot would be working closely with Nami and Jinbei. Carrot would alert Nami. Nami would have to change the course of the ship and tell Jinbei where to go. Many people believe the role of lookout is redundant as Usopp is the sniper of the crew, so he could also work as a lookout as well. But the advantage that Carrot has over Usopp is that, as well as being able to be a lookout at sea, she can also be a lookout at land because of how high she can jump. Also, if Carrot is the lookout, it would allow Usopp to be ready on the cannons so that the Straw Hats would be more ready for enemies on the sea. Carrot's role of lookout could also help the Straw Hat crew to find subtle changes on the sea, which could be important to finding Laugh Tale after they've gotten all the rogue poneglyphs. So, all in all, I believe Carrot will be the Straw Hat crew's lookout. We currently do not know much about Carrot's childhood. The only thing we have seen so far is a scene where she's being trained to be a musketeer by Sicilian, and she's having trouble fighting with a sword, when Pedro chimes in saying that the sword isn't the right weapon for Carrot, and it doesn't matter how you train, just become a mighty warrior and prepare. Everyone has their moments. This is where Carrot gets her signature weapon, the Electroclaws. Pedro would be a very important person in Carrot's life from that point forward, being a mentor figure to help her get stronger, and was also the person to teach her how to control her Sulong transformation. When the situation was at its most dire, with the Sunny trapped, Brook and Chopper's lives in danger, and Big Mom about to destroy the ship, Pedro sacrificed himself to save the lives of the other Straw Hats and to give them a fighting chance to escape Big Mom, breaking the candy holding the ship and also the candy that was suffocating Brook and Chopper. Pedro as a character wanted to help Roger, but he was told it wasn't his time yet. Pedro would become an explorer to find the other rogue poneglyphs to help guide the right person to Laugh Tale. In his quest, he took a massive loss to Big Mom, losing a friend and 50 years of his life. Pedro's dream was to lay the foundation for the person who would change the world and bring the dawn to this endless night. And before his sacrifice, he passed his dream on to Carrot, stating that he believed Luffy and the others would be the ones to bring the dawn. Pedro's sacrifice greatly affected Carrot, who wanted to go back for him, but was stopped by Nami. The rest of the crew was also greatly saddened by Pedro's death, but Jinbei helped rally everyone's spirits by saying that Pedro would want them to move forwards. And by the end of the arc, Carrot tried to comfort Sanji on Pedro's death, as Sanji felt partly responsible for it, but his death still hurt Carrot greatly, as she couldn't quite hold back the tears when talking about him. By the time Wano came around, Carrot had moved on from Pedro's death and remembered his memory fondly at his grave. A character losing someone important to them in the main story rather than in the backstory is rare, but it does happen, as it is the same thing Luffy and Carrot have in common. Luffy lost Ace to Akainu, and Luffy still holds a grudge against him, setting it up for a future battle to get vengeance for Ace. The person Carrot has a grudge against is Perospero, who she sees as responsible for Pedro's death, as if it wasn't for Perospero, Pedro would not have had to sacrifice himself, and the fact that Perospero is still alive while Pedro isn't really upsets her. To the point that when Carrot saw Perospero on Wano, her and Wanda both attacked him to get vengeance for Pedro, but she was defeated and mocked by him, still leaving the potential for a rematch open. Personally, I don't believe Big Mom will be taken down in Wano, as Luffy said that he would defeat her after Kaido. It is likely that the place that Big Mom and Luffy will finally clash will be on Elbaf, due to Big Mom's history there, killing one of their heroes as a child, and also for the fact that there is a giant on Elbaf that knows the truth of where Mother Carmel went, and I feel as though Big Mom will have to find out the truth before the end of the story. Carrot does have a moment thinking about giants during the conversation at the bath, so it would be cool if the first island she went to with the Straw Hats as a part of the crew was the island of giants Elbaf. Now, Perospero was recently defeated by Nekomamushi, so potentially the feud might end there. Pedro has been avenged. I think Carrot will want to fight and defeat Perospero for herself, to prove to Perospero that she is not the weak little rabbit he views her as, whilst Perospero might be the one to hold the grudge against the Minx for his recent defeat, so he might attack Carrot himself to get payback on the race that defeated him. So rather than it being a one-sided affair of Carrot wanting to fight Perospero, they will both have equal reason to fight each other. Carrot's original dream is to go on an adventure at sea. However, I believe Carrot's new dream will be to witness the dawn with the Straw Hats, as it was the dream of Pedro, the Minx, and the Kozuki. Pedro wanted to make the foundation which would lead to the dawn, and gave his life to allow that future to happen. So I believe Carrot will take up Pedro's dream in his memory, and swap places with her mentor, to make sure that Pedro's legacy carries on, then finally see the dawn and the new world that Luffy and the others will create. There is a reason why I put Yamato as the 10th member and Carrot as the 11th, because I believe history has a funny way of repeating itself. When Odin joined Whitebeard and then later Roger, he had Nekomamushi and Inuarashi follow him by joining their crews as stowaways. Carrot has already stowed away before on the way to Whole Cake Island, so I can see a repeat of this situation in the present day. Yamato has joined the crew as Odin, and then on the way out of Wano they find out that Carrot is also on the ship. So I believe when the Straw Hats leave Wano and they're sailing away, they may find it strange that Carrot didn't come to see them off with the other Minx, until the moment where she appears in front of them on the ship, and upon revealing herself, she will ask Luffy if she can join the crew as she wants to continue going on adventures with them. And she will also reveal that Pedro saw them as the ones that would guide the world to the dawn, and she wants to go with them to fulfill Pedro's dream. Luffy will say yes because of all the good times they've had together, and Carrot will cry with joy at the news that she can continue adventuring with Luffy and the others, and thus Carrot will officially be the 11th member of the Straw Hat crew. And that is my video on Carrot, the 11th Straw Hat. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing. Stay tuned for the final part of my recruitment series, going over the last person I think will join the crew. Carrot and Yamato are the most popular picks currently, so I'm sure that you'll be interested to find out who I believe the last person will be. Have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!